Hey Seeker, welcome to the Awakening Her podcast. I am so grateful that you've been led here, and I'm excited for you that you're answering the call to manifest more magic in your life by mastering the law of attraction. So cool. My name is Talia, and I'm committed to cutting the fluff and showing you exactly how to manifest more excitement, ease, success, abundance, confidence, love, and anything else you've been craving. So if you're ready to crack the code on manifestation, amplify your intuition, and play in the quantum, we are now besties. Let's do this. Hello, fam. Welcome back to another episode of the Awakening Her podcast. I am excited to be here today, as always, and I have a really fun episode for you. I'm feeling very fun and free and inspired and all that good stuff. So I hope that today this episode will help you and will really unlock the effortlessness that can be with manifestation. I'm going to talk some real talk here and hopefully give you a really good idea of what manifestation actually looks like and answer the question, can manifestation be effortless? Before we launch into today's episode, I just want to give a shout out to everybody who is new to the podcast. If this is the first episode you're listening to, or you've only listened to a couple before, a very warm welcome to you. My name is Talia, and I'm a manifestation mentor. I'm an intuitive. I'm a psychic in training, uncovering my gifts constantly. And I'm a mama of 3. I have 2 girls and a boy. I'm a Canadian. I live on an island off the west coast of Canada called Vancouver Island. And I'm just a really normal person who has struggled a lot and been drawn to the light and have been learning about law of attraction since I was a teenager. And I've just had a really up and down journey. But as I healed myself from an eating disorder, from addiction, it was really the beginning of the deep transformation and the awakening. So that happened about 10 years ago. And some of you know this, some of you may not. I used to be a nutrition consultant. So once I healed myself of my eating disorder, I went to nutrition school and became a nutrition consultant. And I helped people transform their body and health. And I ended up leaving that because I kept having the pull to dive in deeper. I didn't just want to talk about smoothies. Don't get me wrong, smoothies are amazing. Quinoa is life. But that's not all I wanted to talk about. I was getting bored of just bringing recipes and detoxes and stuff. I wanted to go deep with people. And under my nutrition consultant license, I wasn't allowed to get into these psychological things. I wasn't allowed to start talking about limiting beliefs. And so I branched off after that into more of a life coaching. And I was still focused on health, but it was so much more. And that now was about maybe 6 or 7 years ago. And since then, I just keep getting deeper and deeper into spirituality. And now I don't even know if I would call myself a coach. It doesn't even fully resonate with me because I feel like I'm here to be more of a mentor, a friend, a path shower, a bridging the gap type person that you can be along this journey with me. I can uncover the things that I learn and teach you and really just go at this together as we work to awaken the world. So that's just a little bit about me. So I'm really excited that you're here. Welcome to the podcast. And if you've been around the block with me, if you've been following since day one, maybe part of the membership, the Awakening Academy, or you're a past client, or you've just been in the community for a while, welcome back, my love. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for committing to this process and committing to yourself and letting me into your journey. Okay, so let's get to today's episode, which is all about, can manifestation be effortless? So I'm going to first start out by saying that after a lot of people watched The Secret, there was an awakening that happened. If you've seen The Secret, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen The Secret, it's It's a documentary by Rhonda Byrne, I believe she's from New Zealand, and it's all about the law of attraction and how what you think of shows up in your life and gets attracted back to you. So when the world saw that movie, I don't remember what it was like 2010 or 2012 or something like that, there was a big shift, and a lot of people were like, oh my goodness, this is such good news. What I think of, I can attract. And I think it was such a powerful movie, but I also believe that it was brought to mainstream media and done mainstream media way. So what do I mean by that? It's kind of like music, right? It's a lot different watching a live band like Dave Matthews Band or Pearl Jam or someone perform than the sort of popped out auto-tuned music that we get on the radio these days. One is meant for mainstream media. It's consumable, it's short, it's pretty, it's really appealing. And then the other one is made more for real music fans, right? That want to hear horns and want to hear bass. So it's just two different things. It's not better or worse, but I do believe The Secret was kind of crunched out into our pop culture, and I do think they cut out a lot to make it understandable, to make it consumable, and also to meet people where they were at. So we watched the movie and everyone was stoked and like, sweet, if I think of $1 million and if I think of the promotion or the dream home or the mate, it's going to come to me. So they got all jazzed and did that and found that it wasn't really working. And so a lot of people got frustrated, and either the law of attraction was a sham and doesn't work and isn't real, or people got down on themselves, right? Like, I can't do this. I'm not manifesting very well, because the movie made it look so effortless. And that's something that I think is very deceiving with the law of attraction. And this is also something that I myself am starting to take more responsibility for, is I don't want to post on social media and talk about law of attraction like it's just easy, like it's, unlock this and forever be changed. And, we say these things because it sells, or because, that's what people want to hear, but it's not the truth of it. So even in my own presence, my social media presence, what I decide to talk about, in the last year, I've really shifted from trying to portray it as like, unlock yourself and you're forever good, or unlock the law of attraction and you just get to manifest everything effortlessly, because it's not that way. However, it can be effortless, okay? So I know that sounds like a giant contradiction, and I will explain. The law of attraction is the principle that like attracts like, that what you put out will be brought back to you. I believe with every cell in my body that this is true. I really, truly, unwaveringly believe that this is how the universe works. First of all, this is only one law of the universe, and there are many, but the law of attraction is very real. I have my own intuitive information, channeled information, as well as studying mentors like Wayne Dyer and Marianne Williamson and Abraham, Esther and Jerry Hicks. So I know that the law of attraction is real. I've also have psychic friends and guests that have been on the podcast, and this is the way that life works. What you put out gets attracted. So when we say that like attracts like, that is the fundamental truth of it, and that is the simplicity of it. It is very simple, but humans are not simple. Humans are complex. So it's not that simple as just saying $1 million or making one vision board, and it's like, I put it up there on my vision board, then I'm good, right? I thought of it, and now it's going to show up. And that's really not how it happens. I like to describe the law of attraction as, it's not what you think. That's not what gets attracted back to you. So what is attracted back to you is not what you think, it's what you are. So it is like attracts like, but what you are putting out, who you are being, that is what gets brought back to you. So your words are actually, and I'm really sorry for saying this, but your words are irrelevant. Words are not the carrier of manifestation. The carrier of manifestation is actually emotion. It's energy, emotion, energy in motion. That is what is the attracting point of law of attraction. So how do we Why do we have different emotions? Our emotions are influenced by our beliefs, right? If we believe something, say it's negative or positive, say we believe we're getting a $5,000 check on the weekend, our emotions are going to be like stoked and excited and I can't wait and relief and all that stuff. If I have a belief that my body isn't good enough, then the emotions are sadness and shame and that type of thing, right? So emotions come from belief. And emotions are the manifesting juice. That's the gas in the car. So what you are being is what you will get attracted back to you. And this is why we can't just say, I'm a millionaire and want it to come back. Because chances are, unless you are a millionaire or very close, that's a very hard reach. Like when I'm manifesting money, which is all the time, I don't ever sit there saying I'm a millionaire. That's not the way I do it because that's not what works. You need to emote the feelings of abundance. You need to be someone who is abundant. You need to be someone who feels abundance and doesn't feel a lack or a scarcity when it comes to money and other things. We need to be that person. This is why we do so much of the her work, right? So for you newbies, this is what this podcast is fundamentally all about, is the Awakening Her podcast. And the her is the version of you that already has what you want. The version of you that is living the life of your dreams. That's her. We do a lot of work. If you go back to episode, I think it's 2 or 3, and it's called Awakening Her. And I take you through the process, and it has really helped massively shift a lot of you. So thank you for the feedback on that, and definitely go listen if you haven't. So we need to be the person that is living that dream life in order to attract it. So, can manifestation be effortless? Yes and no. I'm going to be very real with you, okay? And this is just because I love you and I genuinely want you to succeed. And I know that your success is inevitable. So I want to speed it up for you a little bit. You need to be the version of yourself that already has it. And that doesn't mean flawless, but that just means I want you to start embodying her, that version of yourself, because that is what will get attracted back to you. So does that sound easy or effortless? Actually, no. And at first, it requires effort. There's no other way to say it. At first, it requires work because as a human, you've lived a messy journey. You have a jumble of emotions and thoughts and beliefs inside you. You have habits and you have things that you've been doing for the last 20, 30, 40 years, right? So you can make rapid change fast, and things do manifest overnight. It can be simple, but the reality is you're a human. And if you're starting on this manifestation journey or really wanting to kick it up a notch because you're not getting the results, there's a few fundamental things that need to change, including your belief about yourself, your belief about what's possible, your negative self-talk, that type of thing, right? Because who you are being is what you will attract. No matter how much you say, I'm a millionaire, or I live with my soulmate, or make a vision board or anything else, no matter how much you do that, you need to also emote it. You need to also be it. So I have another episode about making a vision board. And in that, I have 10 tips to make it actually work. And so much of what I talk about, and definitely go check out that episode, definitely, a lot of what I talk about is about getting into the emotion of it, focusing on the feelings, really allowing yourself to go there, because you can't just slap up a stack of cash on a vision board and it'll show up. That's not the way that it works, or else everybody that watched The Secret would be, fit millionaires or whatever it is that, everybody wants. So is it easy? Can it be effortless? Yes, but at first it definitely takes a retraining of the mind. And I'm going to give you some straight up gold here. To determine how fast you're going to manifest or change your life around or, change a situation, it's going to come down to your willingness to bust through your mindset blocks, your limiting beliefs, your it's never going to work type talk that you have. It's going to come down to, are you willing to do what it takes to bust through? Are you willing to do what it takes to reconstruct beliefs? And if you are willing, the reward is a completely new life. It's the abundance, it's the health, it's the love, it's the confidence, it's the purpose, it's the freedom that you're looking for. So I hope that you say yes to this journey and take on the task that is reconstructing your mind, because the result and the reward is massive. So you're going to experience hardship anyway. It's either going to be hard and difficult not stepping into the life of your dreams and feeling like you're not in your purpose and feeling lost and feeling uncomfortable in your life, or you're going to have to put in effort to reconstruct those beliefs and change your mindset. So either way, you're putting out effort. Either way, there's discomfort. But the result and the reward of doing the work is truly, I mean, in my mind, it's like there's nothing more worth it. I am willing to do whatever it takes to live the life of my dreams. I can taste it. I can see it. I can feel it. I know I'm stepping into it all the time. I am it. And that has been worth all of it. So back to the manifestation being effortless or not. In the beginning, everything takes work. When a baby learns to walk, when you learn how to drive a car, when you go to school, when you learn a new language, when you go out on a first date, when you do anything at first, it takes effort, right? If you've ever lost weight or saved up money or created a new habit or gotten sober or anything, at first it takes effort. It takes a reconstructing of your old patterns, your old beliefs, your old ways of doing things. But the reward is so worth it, right? If you've done something where you have lost the weight or you have gotten sober or you have saved up the money, isn't it so worth it? Aren't you just so glad in the end that you did it? But was it effortless? Well, no, it's not effortless, right? It takes some work. So it takes work to manifest in the beginning, not because you have to spend a lot of time actually manifesting or sitting down hours in your journal or meditating for, years. It's about the beliefs. It's about who you're being. It's about interrupting the pattern of I'm not good enough, of feeling crappy about yourself or your body or your finances or where you're at in life, right? That takes some sort of, I don't want to say discipline, but some effort to reconstruct. So I'm going to give you right now the number one hack, and just this is how I see it, and this is what I've used to get the results the fastest, because I don't mind waiting for divine timing, but I also don't want to wait forever. I don't want to just manifest, the life of my dreams when I'm 80. I want to step into it now. I want to give my kids the life that I want to give them, take them on trips and be able to pay for all their colleges. Oh geez, 3 of them, all their colleges, all their education, be able to take my husband away and, all the stuff. So I want to do that now. So I have learned to shortcut. I've learned to be like, okay, what's going to reconstruct my belief the fastest? And what I have found that does it the fastest is getting inspired/mentored. And I've talked about this before on the show, and this is not just a pitch to hire me. That's not what this is about. It's about when you don't believe in a possibility because you've never seen it. Like, say I've had clients that, want to lose close to 100 pounds, but they've never done it before. So just getting into your own mind and trying to reconstruct the belief, being like, I can lose weight and I'm fit and I'm doing this when they've never done it. Yeah, that's hard. That is hard. I have clients and myself, manifesting money when I'm in debt and trying to say and feel abundant when I was in debt. It was hard. It was really, really hard, right? And I see that for my clients. Someone who wants to leave a toxic relationship and maybe even become a single parent and move out on their own, but they've never done it before. That's a tough thing to be like, I'm going to make it and I'm going to do it. Doesn't mean it's impossible, but it's an uphill battle for a while you're just trying to, find that foundational belief. So what I've done is I have continuously gotten inspired and mentored. So whether I have, and you guys know I share this all the time, I always have a coach or a mentor, but I also visit healers. I've gone to psychics. I've gone to other, healers and readers. I've also had numerous coaches, but I also flood my mind with things like podcasts and, TV shows or documentaries, books, things that really inspire me. So what I do is if I'm up against a goal, kind of say up against in quotes, but you can't see me, so imagine the cute little air quotes. If I have a goal and I haven't yet done it, I seek out somebody who has done it. Like, I'm not even kidding. And I've said this to clients before. One of my clients that wanted to lose close to 100 pounds, and she had 3 kids, I believe. And she's like, you just can't lose weight after kids, or it's going to be slow, or I could never, be back to how I was. And yeah, you might not ever be exactly back to how you were because hips change and boobs change and all that good stuff. But it doesn't mean you can't lose weight, and it doesn't mean you actually can't even be smaller than before if that's something that would be your healthiest. So I told her, I said, I want you to find someone that inspires the heck out of you that has lost weight after having children. And she's like, what? And so in between calls in the week, she had homework and she went and found this social media account. And it was so inspiring to her because this woman had lost like 150 pounds. She was very heavy before kids, had kids, gained weight, and then wanted to get down to a fit, like athletic size. And she did it. And she was sharing her recipes and her mindset tricks and her early morning workouts. And my client was so inspired. And she came on the call the next week. She's like, Talia, I can't even believe what I was saying to you last week. It is so possible. I've already started doing this and going for walks, and my family's going to eat vegetarian this week, and I'm so inspired. I'm so excited. And it's like, see, once you know something's possible, you get inspired. So this is the very first thing to get to the point where manifestation is effortless. And I'm going to go more into that because it can end up being effortless. I'm going to share about that. But first, we have to get inspired because you have to know that what you want is possible. So I always hire coaches that I intuitively feel have been where I was or where I am, right? I look at coaches. So whether it's building a business, I hired a Canadian coach who is a mom of 2, and she just was super grounded and inspiring, but successful. And I was like, that's what I want. I'm a Canadian. I'm a coach, at the time. And I have kids, and she's showing me that this is possible. I didn't hire the person who has no kids, and then I'm dealing with trying to balance a business with children. And that was something that I was really trying to struggling with and trying to find my way. So that was coming up for me. So I hired someone that inspired the fuck out of me to know that it's possible, right? So this is the first thing you need to do is surround yourself with mentors and inspiring content of people that have literally overcome what you're going through. Find a podcast for women who have left abusive relationships. Listen to Joe Dispenza if you're looking to heal your body or heal chronic illness. Go to Gabby Bernstein if it's addiction or mindset stuff. Find those mentors, find those coaches, healers, whoever it is that you deeply feel like they've been where you are, and go for it. Because what will happen is not only will you gather new tools and tricks and aha moments and breakthroughs, but you'll also forever now have the belief and have the knowing that it's possible. And when you start knowing that what you want is possible, who you are changes. Who you become changes. Because you're no longer sitting there going, can I heal this chronic pain? To, oh my goodness. Like, I'm not even kidding. If you haven't listened to Joe Dispenza, and I mean, him for anything is incredible, but healing chronic pain and injuries, the stories he tells, the way he healed his own body is so inspiring that I will never go back to thinking, can I actually heal this chronic thing? Because I've listened to him enough that I know it's possible. So go and find the people who are inspiring to you to your core, not just the mentor online or the one coach that like talks a good talk and you think that that's what you should be. Like, go to the person that you feel like, oh my goodness, that is who I want to become. That is so inspiring. That motivates me to know that this is possible and to make changes, right? So that's the first thing, is you have to know it's possible, because once you know it's possible, you become somebody who knows it's possible. And before you do that, you never know. And you're filled with doubt, and you're filled with sabotage, and you're filled with, feeling lost. So just get mentored, get helped. There's nothing more worth it. And if you're resisting it, or you feel like I can't do that, I always ask my clients or people, what part of you is resisting getting help? Why would you even be resisting getting supported, right? Just let that sink in for a minute. No, I'm good on my own, or I don't deserve help, or I'm better off alone. That's not even true. So get mentored, get supported, whether it's through books, podcasts, whatever, coaches. Just do it, because the universe will always back you up. The money will come, the time will come, the bravery will come. That will be one of the best things that you ever do for yourself. So back to the effortlessness. Once you start to shift your mindset, who you become changes. And as you become somebody who is increasingly getting more confident, more optimistic, healthier, happier, all incrementally, it's all an incremental thing. It just happens over time. You start believing more. You're starting to feel happier. You're starting to focus less on your pain, focus less on the lack. You're starting to focus less on where you're not in life, and instead focusing on that her, that person you're becoming, that abundance inside, that worthiness inside, that possibility that life can be magical and you can be healed and you can live the life of freedom that you want. Once you become that person, manifestation does become relatively effortless, because you've raised your vibration as a whole. It's not one thing, high vibe day, high vibe thought, and then back to low vibe or back to just sort of neutral. You all over raise your vibe from the time you wake up till the time you're going to bed, the people you interact with, the people you spend your time with, the overall mindset that you carry changes. So then your point of attraction changes all the time. And that is what starts to make manifestation effortless. So there may be still things, specific things you want to call in. And that may take a little bit of focus, right? If there's one specific goal, like New York Times bestseller, and then you might take some time to visualize that and think, okay, what would my first step be? And kind of give attention and focus to that thing. But it's no longer an uphill battle. It's more like an artist with a paintbrush. You get to create your life now. How exciting. So then you start thinking, I want to manifest this, and I want to manifest this, and this is really fun. And that's when it becomes effortless. When your vibe is higher and your optimism is higher and you're feeling good, you become a magnet. And I know that you know what that feels like, because I know you've had days, periods in your life, maybe a vacation where everything just went right. It was just like this showed up, and then you got this free, and then you found money, and you had a healing conversation, and you had this breakthrough, and you got, whatever else came into your life, blessings just came without you trying, just showed up, right? Felt like your birthday, because gifts were just showing up for you, and insights and support and all the stuff. So that's when manifestation becomes effortless, when you're kind of living in that place of higher vibration. And I feel like I say this almost every single episode. You have unconditional permission to have bad days, to have moody moments, to have triggers. I was triggered the other day with my body after looking at some photos of myself, and I ended up like crying and feeling really awful. But then within a few hours, actually, okay, here's the truth. I went to bed feeling awful because I was sitting in it and feeling bad, but I woke up the next morning and I did a process that I do to release the judgment on myself, to release those stories, and I processed it through, and then I felt better. So overall, there was a little blip in the high vibe, but it didn't last very long. And that's the ultimate place we're trying to get to, is where when we are triggered, we're able to come back. When we are thrown off, we're able to come back because feeling good is within reach. And that is truly when manifestation becomes effortless, because we're no longer so attached and in lack and worrying and wondering, like, where's my stuff? When's this check or this sexy man going to appear at my doorstep, or whatever it is that you're going for, right? You move out of that and just into life is a blessing. I am doing a good job. I'm finding my way. Things are clicking. I'm loving the journey. The unfolding of all of this is so fun. The connections I'm making are cool. The life I'm living is great. And I know it's going to continue to get greater. When you're at that place, that's when manifestation becomes effortless. And I mean, there's a million little caveats I could say, right? It doesn't even mean at that point you're just going to be wealthy, rich beyond your wildest dreams, or everything's going to come in at once, because that's also not how we're meant to live. When we're in alignment, it doesn't mean that everything comes in once. You may have heard Abraham say this, but she says, you don't want all the food you're ever going to eat in your lifetime right now. That would be too much food. You want it to trickle into your experience. You want it to show up morning, afternoon, and night, and just be there to be consumed for your whole life. And that's how manifestation works. As much as we say we want these things and we want it all now, we actually don't want the everything that we want in this moment. Because if it all showed up, well, then what, right? And now what? And it would be a lot. It'd be a little bit too much. But what we're actually here for is these moments of clarity, the breakthroughs, the times you get an unexpected, check, or you get this job opportunity, or you think of the most brilliant outline for your book, or you find a healthy habit that you stick to, or you get an opportunity from a friend to be on a podcast or something. Like, those are the things we're actually in for, is these blessings dripped into our experience, these synchronistic moments, these blessings that just show up. That's what we love. That is what we're here for. So that is manifestation. It's being in alignment with source, allowing blessings into your life and having them just show up because you are aligned, right? So can manifestation be effortless? I think that it's a disservice whenever anybody tells you that manifestation itself is effortless, because depending on where you're starting from, there may be a lot of things to heal, right? If you've experienced trauma, which we all have, if you've been abused, if you've had addiction, low self-esteem, anxiety, depression, whatever it is you're going through, if you've felt something really deep, like you don't belong, and that's occurred in your life, there's some healing to be done. So I recommend not only finding someone who gets what it's like, but also keeping on the path of healing. See energy healers, see, acupuncturists, see whatever it is that calls to you. Go that way. Try out Reiki, try out a psychic, try out anything that feels right. Because healing's a journey, right? Healing is a journey. And I've had to heal a lot of stuff. I've had to heal so much about low self-esteem and insecurity and self-sabotage. But it's all been so worth it, because every time I come closer to who I truly am, I step into my power, I step out of feeling stuck, and I step into this beautiful life that I'm creating. And from that place, manifestation becomes relatively effortless. And again, there's times I'm going to put focus on bringing in extra income, or manifesting a trip somewhere specific, or, an opportunity for a publisher or something. There are times when I do go to work, so to speak, on my goals. But it's no longer so hard. It's more fun. It's more an adventure. It's more like, let's see how this is going to happen. Okay. And then when it does in some form or another, I'm like, good one, universe. That's not at all how I thought it was going to happen. Like, awesome. It's more fun. So in the beginning, just like anything, Give yourself the patience and the space to be able to be a little messy. That's what this experience is. And there's going to be some healing that needs to happen in order for you to get to that place where who you are being is so damn sexy to the universe that you will just continuously attract the things that you want in your life. Just continue to do the mindset work, because the mindset work is what shifts who you are being. And there's no amount of vision boards or mantras that can take the place of good old-fashioned mindset work. It's just the way it is. A vision board with a focused mindset and some really cool techniques can be so powerful, right? Manifestation journaling, when you're into it and your mindset is aligned, so powerful. But if the mindset's not there, if who you are being isn't somebody who attracts abundance or attracts love, or just continuously thinks that you're not enough and you're a victim and life is hard, again, I'm not saying life hasn't been hard, but the more we focus on that, that's what we're going to attract. And then if we watch The Secret, or we start saying, I'm a millionaire, or I'm free, or my body has no pain, it's just that's not what's going to show up. Who you are being speaks so loudly that the universe doesn't hear what you're saying. Who you are being speaks so loudly that the universe doesn't hear what you're saying. So on that note, mic drop, I'm out of here. I hope that this was a helpful podcast to you. If it is helpful, make sure to let me know. Reach out on Facebook or Instagram at Talia Joy Manifestation. I love hearing your takeaways, and I'm just so grateful that you're here, you're part of this community, and we are on this journey together. Hey love, I hope today's episode resonated deep with you. If you loved what you heard today, let me know on Facebook or Instagram at Talia Joy Manifestation. I love seeing the screenshots of you guys listening to the show, as well as your big takeaways. For real, come hang out. I am so excited to expand my tribe and connect with you always. So until the next episode, sending you so much love and light. You are rocking it. You're exactly what the world needs.